Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's PJ here with the Shuffle Squad, and today we're going to be covering a deck that isn't seeing so much play anymore. It's because a lot of people think that this deck sucks. Well, I'm here to tell you that Lugia VSTAR doesn't suck. It's actually a halfway decent deck. It could be a great play for a lot of these upcoming events. It even top 32'd the most recent San Antonio regionals, which was the biggest North American regionals to date in the Pokemon TCG. We're going to take a look at our friend All Out Blitzel's top placing list in a tournament that had over 110 players at, and they went 7-0 in this tournament with this list. So we're super happy to cover it here today on the Shuffle Squad. If we look at the Pokemon line, pretty straightforward, the 3-3 Lugia V-Star line. We obviously know that we want to use the V-Star power to get the Archeops into the discard so we can accelerate a lot of the special energies in the list, but we do see that this one also plays 2 of the Iron Hands EX. Now, Iron Hands is great when you use the Amp You Very Much attack to take extra prizes on those smaller Pokemon, or maybe something that's weak to Lightning. Talking about you, Lumineon V. So when we look at a list like this, we obviously want to be a little bit more aggressive with our bigger Pokemon. We even have a Tapu Koko EX in here, which if any one of your Pokemon got knocked out, which I'm sure that they will in a list like this, you're able to paralyze your opponent's Pokemon, which is really good. Status conditions are really great because we're kind of seeing the downside of removing switch items out of our decks from getting things out of the active. We more or less want to use switch items like Jet Energy to get our Pokemon into the active so they can start attacking. So Tapu Koko EX is really good in a list like this, and I think it holds a lot of value. Now, if we're taking a look at the trainer line, we want to focus on something here. We're using a Zinnia's Resolve, which can basically work like one of our Ultra Balls here. Mind you, we do play 4 Ultra Balls, so I think that Zinnia's is really good, and obviously a lot of decks right now are trying to set up that wide board state, so Zinnia's is really good here to get more cards in your hand so you can start doing the things that Lugia is meant to do. If we also look down at the items, this list plays 3 Great Balls and 2 Earthen Vessels. Now, Great Ball is awesome because it's another way to search out Pokemon that you need for the turn, and Earthen Vessel is good for this specific type of list because you're playing quite a few of the basic energies. This list actually is playing 4 basic energies. We've got the 2 Lightnings, 1 Water, and 1 Fire energy in a list, as well as a Luminous energy, but the basic energy is really cool here because we're able to use things like the Radiant Charizard. We could use, obviously, the Tapu Koko and the Iron Hands here, and even attack with Lumineon V. So I think this list is super well-rounded. We're going to take it over to the PTCGL ladder and see if it holds any merit. Now, before we do get over there, I do want to give a huge shout out to our sponsors here. You can find all of our sponsor links down in the description below, and also make sure you're checking out all of the codes that you see here too, so you can save yourself some money on any of the awesome Pokemon TCG products. If you don't like saving money, that's up to you, but if you do like watching Pokemon TCG, we're gonna hop right over into some gameplay. All right, we're hopping right into a match here. We're gonna try to see if we can go first. Our opponent gets to choose heads. Interesting how PTCG Live had us pick whether we wanted to go first or second, but it is what it is. We will get to go first. We definitely want to go first with this deck, which I think is different than a lot of decks in the format currently, so maybe that's another reason why Lugia is a little scared, because, you know, you hit a Miraidon and you go first, they set up on turn 2 and start attacking. It's not the greatest time in the world, but you know, we've got a Drapion. Hopefully we're playing up against a Mew. That would be a little funny. They flipped over Mew VMAX, but we'll see what we got here. There's no way, right? Capturing Aroma can get rid of some of our things. Okay, so it's Charizard. We know what Charizard does. We're going to go ahead and use Capturing Aroma, and it is heads. So we got 1 head, so now we can get an evolution Pokemon like our Archeops. Let's take a look at our prizes. We've got both of the hands in here. We definitely have the Lugia V. We've got another research. We got some Ionos. Still a boss, so that's good. Mesagoza's okay. It looks like our fire energy is missing. We still have Luminous, but can't Charizard as early as we want. We're going to go ahead, just pop this Capturing Aroma. See if we got both Archeops in the discard, but no Lugia V. So that's a little unfortunate. I think what I'm going to try to do is just attack with Drapion. Maybe we can attack this Charmander here in the active, or at least take one prize card and just try to swing into something. Now, sometimes they'll put a Lumineon down in the field to get themselves going. They're not going to do that with Battle VIP Pass, but if we can swing into a 2-prize Pokemon, or hopefully a 2-prize V Pokemon, and swing 3 prizes, then we'll still be okay. We want to hit with Iron Hands eventually. We do want to try to go for the Tapu Koko EX play in this matchup, where we're paralyzing a Charizard and then swinging into it with something else. Now, we unfortunately can't one-shot a Pidgeot EX, which we would love to do. And there's the Lumineon. Okay, so I think we have a chance. We can map this out. We could definitely take a 3-prize turn off Lumineon V. We do only have 1 boss's orders, so that's not the best because we're gonna have to dump our hand here, and hopefully we can get a Lugia V set up, start swinging into the Charmander, let our Lugia set up. And there's the Rotom. They have a full bench, which is good for our Zinnia if we want to ever play Zinnia's Resolve here and get more cards in our hand. So here we go. Hopefully we don't top deck something terrible. That's pretty terrible, but it's okay. We'll do what we have to do. We're going to throw out the research, see what's going on here. And we do get a Lugia, so we are set up and we can attack. We can't attack with single prize Pokemon. We got the Luminous Energy. What we're going to have to do is try to go ahead and just swing in, put 60 damage on the Drapion here. Not necessarily going to matter too much. We'll just take our first prize card and go from there. Okay, Professor Burnet is not going to help us this turn. We do need a Lugia VSTAR to make things happen. We've got 2 Archeops in the discard pile. Our opponent's got a massive hand here. And if they don't have Rare Candy Charizard, then they're doing something wrong here. Oh no, here comes our Lugia. Okay, so we have to math this out, right? If they can't get the Vitality Band, the Rare Candy, and the Charizard in play, we'll be okay, right? Everything's going to be fine. We still have the Radiant Zard to start to clean up at least this Pokemon. We definitely don't want to hit into the Lumineon with that, but we could try to go for a boss play eventually and hit the Rotom V with the Charizard, and then we'll be fine. We can swing twice into this Charizard, take a 2-prize turn, and then try to boss with a Iron Hands. It's great. Iono. Our hand was terrible. I love Iono here. They did get the knockout, so that's going to be absolutely terrible for us. And it's just the more and more we play in the Charizard, the less and less I see this deck evolving to where I want it to be. But I can see some lines at least. There are some lines. So our opponent had a magical hand. So if they didn't have that magical hand, not too much that would have happened here. We would have been able to hopefully get off this Lugia VSTAR, but Charizard's always got it like that. So we're going to try and play into another game here and just switch back over, back under the ladder, and see what else we can do here. Okay, back on the ladder. We're going to see if we can queue up into a nice, easy game. We didn't win the coin flip, but that's okay. We can still try to accomplish our goal of getting 2 Archeops into the discard pile and see where we go from there with this game. We're going to take a look at what our opponent is doing, and they did choose to go second. That's a little scary because we definitely don't want to get stuck here with nothing in play. So how about Tapu Koko? Okay. Oh, and we do get the mulligan. So it's Roaring Moon. We're playing up against Roaring Moon. Seems like they got the shoes in there to make themselves go a little bit faster and going second, which means that they could potentially knock out our Lugia V. Don't want that to happen for sure. Mew EX, never a good sign here either. So I think that what I'm going to do is just throw out the Capturing Aroma first. Let's try that. We do get heads, which is great. we can kind of go in, get the other Archeops, then I can establish a second Lugia V here, and a Tapu Koko EX, which will be, we'll get second Lugia V, and just try to start swinging into Roaring Moon here. Honestly, I've never played this matchup, but I think what I want to do is just load a double turbo onto the bench Lugia, just because I want to keep it safe and keep that energy there in case we have to dump our hand next turn. And we'll see what we can do going forward. But chances are, and I'm counting on it because Roaring Moon's been pretty consistent lately, that they're going to knock out our active Pokemon here, which won't give us access to the Lugia V Star and the Star Power ability to go ahead and get those Archeops with Summoning Star here. Alright, let's see what they're cooking up over on the other side. We've got energy into the discard pile. We're going to see what they put on the bench. Chances are we're going to see a Squawkabilly here, and go with Squawkabilly to have them set up. Then they can always Professor Sada, get that energy on. I know Moltres is going in a lot of decks like this, and then they can go ahead and just energy switch over from the Moltres and blow us up. So we don't want that to happen turn one, but if they do it, it's pretty warranted, because that's what those decks do. Switch cart. Okay, I guess I could see switch cart. Not really going to need that in this matchup here. Wondering if they're going to go just thin their deck of energy, maybe use an Ultra Ball, try to get Squawk into play and just Squawk and seize all of that energy into the discard pile. They are playing, hopefully they're playing 4 of the Earthen Vessels to get that. I know we play 2 to get our basic energies onto things like Tapu Koko, but they're definitely playing 4 count. Okay, so there is the Ultra Ball. They're going to probably go for, like I said, Squawkabilly. Okay, get rid of the boss, which is, I mean, the boss is probably going to go in the discard pile anyway. It just gives them the ability to put that dark energy onto the Roaring Moon this turn. 1 less energy, and the Sada. Holy moly. So all they need is 1 more piece, which should be a Moltres energy switch. Or Dark Patch. Dark Patch would also work. So they have enough dark energy there. They use the Pokestop. We got another Earthen Vessel. Really thinning out that deck, which I definitely don't like. There's a lot of item cards in there that can hurt me, especially this turn. I'm gonna go with Heavy Ball. Let's see if they find anything in there with Heavy Ball. All right, they're thinking a little bit. They have got nothing. A bunch of air in those prize cards. Airy prize cards. And here comes the Dark Patch. They are getting the turn 1 attack, which is fine. We prepared for that. We're ready. I think that the Tapu Koko could go down if they ever play Escape Rope, because they want to force up our energy-loaded Lugia. Everything seems okay to me. So the downside is they aren't going to have to damage themselves to knock out our Lugia V, which seems pretty terrible for us. So let's see what we come up against to end out this turn. I think that they should go for a Radiant Greninja. And after that Radiant Greninja comes into play, yep, there we go. Now they have lots of draw established. They've got not only Mew EX, they also have Radiant Greninja. They've got the trekking shoes. Everything is perfectly fine. That's why I do like the bigger, or the higher count rather, of the Ultra Balls in here, because Mew EX is such a strong card. We see the Peony build of the Miraidons. You're able to thin down that hand and then just use Restart over and over again. Just getting all the resources you don't need out of the deck. They're becoming a liability in your hand, and Mew EX is really, really good. They've got the full trifecta here of all the Pokemon that they need to get going, and I really think that they're just trying to set up for the following turn. They have not Squawk and Seized yet, so really trying to thin down that hand. I would love to see what the follow-up play is. They might have a Sada in there too. I think the Professor Sada is going to be detrimental. So if they forgot about Squawk and Seas, or maybe they're just a little delayed. Could be PTCGL just delaying things. And I'm also curious to see if they know enough, since there is a stadium in play, to use the secondary attack to swing for 220, because Roaring Moon can hit for 220 if there's a stadium. So Calamity Storm's just going to knock our Lugia V out without putting damage counters on them. It's going to be pretty hard for us to come back from that. We could try to paralyze it with the Tapu Koko this turn. There's another Dark Patch. Holy. Talk about a full house. There's restart for 1. So we have to think of a way to get out of this. We know that they don't play many switch cards, but they do play Cross Switcher, they play Switch Cart, and they play Escape Rope sometimes. So I think we'll try to lead here. I could go Luminous Energy, Paralyze, since we have this basic energy in hand. It does shut off our Charizard, so that's minorly alarming. Go like this. Hopefully, our Luminous Energy is not prized, otherwise we're in trouble. We'll go ahead and monitor our resources here, which we should have checked, honestly. Oh gosh. Let's do a Gift Energy. V-Guard Energy doesn't matter here, literally at all. Just put these there. We'll have to manually retreat. Bring this guy up here. Swing for 200. Now, what's nice is that if they knock themselves out with frenzied gouging, then they are going to take a 2-prize turn, but we're also going to take 2 prizes, and then it's back on us. So if we're able to, draw cards with maybe Professor's Research or an Iono, which might be even better because we're going to Iono them to 2 cards. They're going to draw a card and not be able to restart the following turn. We might be in an okay spot. Especially since our attacker right now can paralyze, since they're going to be knocking us out more than likely. So let's see what they do. I think not using their first attack could be the correct play, unless they have like the best hand imaginable. But what I want to do is I want to Ultra Ball away our Lugia V-Star plus whatever we top deck and Iono them. We could be in a bad spot because we're going to Iono ourselves to 4, but I really don't like that they have a 7-card, potentially a 9-card hand after this, plus the extra card from when we draw. Really doesn't seem great for us, and if we can at least find 1 Earthen Vessel off of an Iono, we'll be okay. Now, also, what's kind of terrible here that we have to think about is that the Gift Energy, we can get PTCGL to load, is going to be something we need to take a look at. So if this Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an attack, which it's an effect with Frenzied Gouging, that Gift Energy shouldn't, in theory, activate. So that's another thing that's worrisome here, is that even if they get knocked out, yeah, cool, we get to take 2 prize cards, but if it's not a Luminous Energy and we can't draw into one of our other basic energies, we're pretty much cooked. So something we have to be cautious of. So they're thinking about their play. They see the line too, where Lugia V-Star can definitely get knocked out. They'll go down to 2 prize cards. Then if we can see that moon come up, it'll get paralyzed. Or they'll probably bring up more Pico. Or more Peko. That's what I would do. I would send up the more Peko. Because it's a single prize Pokemon. We don't care about it, even if it gets knocked out. Mew EX is there too. Let's just send up the Koko. See what they send up. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so we're going to knock out this thing, which means that they're going to knock us out here. So let's put this Mew here. We won't need Lugia the rest of the turn. Have to go here. Let's just throw this out there just for giggles. Okay, cool. That means we can get a Charizard. Change on the prizes a little bit. And first thing we're gonna do is just restart. See if we draw into anything. Okay, not what we wanted. Definitely not what we wanted, because we don't want to do that anymore. Let's just go ahead and Iono. Iono, let's triple check to see what we've got here. So we've got one vessel, but we do have fire energy. So on the off chance that we get the fire energy off this Iono to 4, we got 2 outs to do it. We didn't hit any of the outs. Well, that is the way the cookie crumbles. Alright, we could do something funny here. Let's go Jet Energy this Archeops up, because it is a single prize attacker. Let's load up some energy. Let's just go double turbo to the active. Then we can load the second primal turbo. Just do a 1 gift energy on the Koko. And as long as they don't have boss here, I think we might be okay. We could speed wing for a knockout. We're going to take that knockout. More Pico goes down. We're drawing cards. We're going to try to draw into our Luminous Energy. We did not draw into our Luminous Energy, but we can draw quite a few cards. We can boss if this gets knocked out. They're going to try to draw into their own Gust out. Restart for 1. Let's see here. Can we make this happen? Can we make Roaring Moon roar back home? We still have a few routes. We have a route to potentially take a 3 prize turn, but we have to get... Okay, so that's fine. Okay, let's do this. Let's get rid of Lugia and the Iono. Just to bait them a little bit, draw some more cards. Okay, so now we really have it where we can draw into what we want. So I'm still gonna go ahead and speed wing for 100 without putting any energy on, because that's another boss target. They're still left with a 3-card hand. Not a whole lot to do, because a lot of their energy is in their discard pile or attached to their Pokemon. They're going to need a Sada, which isn't a boss's orders. I think we're just going to have to keep swinging. I have to keep swinging here. Let's just keep going. We're going to keep going. We knock this out. We take these 2 prize cards. Okay, we might make it work. We might make it work. So they're gonna put up their attacker. They don't want to get attacked anymore. Understandable. And I mean, we have quite a few routes, and there we go. We got the dub. All right, let's go. And there you have it. We saw Lugia V-STAR in action. Thank you so much, All Out Blitzel, for this list. We did get to see it lose against Charizard. I still think it has quite a few lines, and we got to see it dominate over Roaring Moon, which is a really good up-and-coming deck that I think is great for these next big regional events, or maybe a cup or challenge near you too. Now, if you did like this video and you got to see some of the gameplay and enjoyed what you saw, please let us know down in the comments, or maybe even if you have some suggestions on the list, we'd love to know about that too. And also make sure that you're checking out all of our sponsors down below. I'm PJ, and that's going to be all for Lugia V-STAR in this video. We will catch you next time on the Shuffle Squad.
Hey trainers, tired of having too many cards lying around? I know that feeling, and I know what a hassle it is to try and sell those cards. But selling bulk is now easier than ever with TCG Bulk. Find tons of potential buyers in a single place. You just download the app, look for the best buyer near you, and carefully pack your bulk, ship it, and you get paid. It really is that simple. Turn the cards you don't want into the cards you absolutely need for your next deck. You made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching this entire video from the Shuffle Squad. Honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate each and every person that supports our content, watches what we have going on every single day, every single week, even from time to time, and continuously allows us to have a forum to project our creative content towards the Pokemon TCG community. So if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and even leave a comment to help boost the YouTube algorithm. That being said, we'll catch you with our next video. Thanks again. Take it easy.